5 elections, 4 decertification campaigns, 8 corporate lawyers, and 5.5 years till we got to our first contract.
I don't have a contract. There is no contract.
We're losing ground. In order to gain ground, we have to hold on to our turf and make it stronger. And in order to do that, we need the Employee Free Choice Act.
Something is wrong in America. Laws that were passed to ensure that workers have the right to organize a union and bargain a contract are being used by corporations to do exactly the opposite. The Employee Free Choice Act is our chance to do something about this. Through majority sign-up, it will restore the right to have a union and collectively bargain a contract. And it's not some pipe dream. It's already passed the United States House of Representatives, 241 to 185. It's not that we don't have a majority of senators on our side. We do. We just don't have 60. Because the Senate has the filibuster, you need 60 votes even to get a floor vote on legislation like this, not just a majority of 51. So we've got to elect more labor-friendly senators and a president who stands with working families.
I've been a union activist for over 25 years. I'm at the bargaining table with Verizon right now. I'm telling you, we need the Employee Free Choice Act.
Are things really that bad? You bet they are. Have you heard about Comcast in Pittsburgh?
Supervisors were saying, look, I'm your supervisor. We've been getting along for years. You know, why would you want somebody else to come between us?
I've talked to those Comcast workers. They want a union, but the fear, the intimidation that they go through is just unbelievable.
If you get to the point where you get the votes and you actually can get through the barrage of one-on-one meetings, captive audience meetings, supervisors saying that they're just going to get rid of everybody, people getting laid off, people getting fired, up to the election, and you get the election and win, there are some other tactics.
They would organize a group of people and try to get it deserted.
Just anything to delay the process, anything to undermine everything we've done.
By changing lawyers, each lawyer wanted to renegotiate every article.
Things are just as bad at Verizon Business in New York. You may be under the impression that Verizon workers are protected by a CWA contract. Well, some are and some aren't. In 2006, Verizon created Verizon Business, keeping it a non-union company. And just like at Comcast, a majority of Verizon Business workers have voted to have a union.
We had a majority on the card check. For some reason, the company just will not recognize it.
Because the company wants to bring us down to the level of benefits that the non-union side has, instead of bringing them up to our benefits, to our wages, and to our working conditions.
We have a 67% of the workers. We all want the union.
But with threats and intimidation, the company has blocked union recognition and collective bargaining.
Saying like you join a union, you may lose your job, and layoffs.
Captive audiences on anti-union propaganda.
And we cannot say nothing. We have no right to say anything.
If Verizon moves more and more people over to the non-union side, I think we'll continue to see jobs being outsourced, contract labor coming in, and Verizon will continue to come to the bargaining table with takebacks instead of us having demands.
This is a trend throughout American business, and it's no accident. It's the result of decades of collaboration between corporations and the politicians who do their bidding. The right to unionize and bargain collectively was protected when President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the National Labor Relations Act. In 1935, only 7.4% of American workers in the private sector belonged to unions. But with the protection of the NLRA, unions grew, and good contracts were negotiated. Wages rose. Families bought homes and cars. And as unions negotiated benefits for their members, much of the middle class enjoyed health insurance and pension plans. By 1954, union membership was at 35%. These golden years lasted for a generation, from the 50s through the 70s. But as corporations grew in power, with the help of their political friends, they launched an assault on unions and collective bargaining. And today, private sector union membership is right back where it was in 1935. It's gotten so bad that America has fallen behind the rest of the world in basic workers' rights. In other democracies, many more workers are covered by collective bargaining agreements than in the United States. We're at 12% overall. Australia is at 50%. 42% of workers in South Africa have contracts, and they just got rid of apartheid a few years ago. If South Africa can do it, why not South Carolina and South Dakota?
You want to know what's wrong? 2/3 of the employees in Verizon in just 2002 were covered by a union contract. Today, it's just the opposite. 2/3 are non-union. If things keep going in this direction, we'll have a hard time holding on to the wages and benefits that we've negotiated over the years.
We've got to turn this around. The Employee Free Choice Act will do just that. Here's how it would work. If a majority of the employees sign union authorization cards, they win union recognition, and management has to sit down and bargain a contract. Second, the company will no longer be permitted to stall and stonewall negotiations. If the company and the union cannot agree on a contract within 3 months, a neutral third party comes in to arbitrate a settlement, and the employees get a contract. Third, the law increases penalties on management who illegally coerce or intimidate workers who are trying to form a union. No more firing pro-union employees or threatening to close the business if the union is recognized. That's employee free choice. It's just basic democracy. Ask John Lindner, Verizon business employee.
I am currently active duty in the National Guard, and I was ready to go over.
He knows something about democracy. He went and fought for it in Afghanistan and Iraq.
I was told to go overseas to help the people over there to have a democratic government.
Back here in America, John Lindner has yet to enjoy basic democracy at Verizon Business.
And I come back here and I am being denied those rights with this company because they deem it not worthy to listen to us and to listen to my coworkers on the fact that we want a union.
Verizon clearly has a plan, and their plan is to go completely non-union. But you know what? We have a plan too, and it's called the Employee Free Choice Act.
The employee free choice will level the playing field by elevating all of our other brothers and sisters instead of bringing us down.
If a majority of workers want a union, they should get a union, and that is why I intend to sign the Employee Free Choice Act when it lands on my desk. It's that simple.
This turning point is here. We're going to win the Employee Free Choice Act. We're going to put every employer on notice. We're going to win health care for all. We're back. We're fighting back. We're fighting for the American dream, and we're in it to win it.